Hey guys, it's Dude. I'm here with Misaki, and welcome to Melty Blood. So before we start, I gotta kind of explain what it is we're playing because there are a lot of Melty Blood games. We're going to be playing the final versions of the original three games. That's Melty Blood React Final Tuned, Melty Blood Act Cadenza version B, and Melty Blood Actress Again Current Code. We're not going to be playing Type Lumina. I think I want to do an uncommentated series of that at a later date. It's in the reboot universe, so it's not canon to these games. And if I just sit here for a second, the game's intro sequence should start. I don't know how long it takes exactly, but just
Don't be shy, intro.
yep.
Come on.
Do I have to actually be focused on the window? But it's... And worst case scenario, I could just reboot the game. Give it another second here. All right, yeah, let's try restarting the game. 1 second, folks. Okay.
Soft school French bread.
Yeah. I swear it plays like if you just wait a second. Like it happened while I was setting up. Oh boy. Oh, here we go.
白い夏に雪が降る。ある夏の夜の後、街では不眠症が広まっていた。眠りにつく前、鈴の音が聞こえると自分に殺される夢を見る。黒い猫なら戻ってこれる。白い猫なら戻ってこれない。そうしてどちらでもない猫を見た者は二度と目覚めることがない。街は眠りを恐れ、同時に白い夢に染まっていく。再び構築される幻影の夏。起こり得ないはずの出会いと再会。考察する旧敵たち。目が覚めているのは自分だけなのか、それとも眠ったまま目覚めていないのは自分だけなのか。クジラ幕のような無人の街、一夜限りの競争曲。夢を操る黒猫との遊戯が始まった。
I like how they acknowledge that it's impossible for these characters to meet again.
Wow, was the narrator Len?
I possibly. Not. I don't know who else
The
would
one
be.
time Len talks?
I think the game's still a little loud. Let me. Yeah, the volume settings for this game are different from Tsukihime, so I couldn't just reuse those. So I have to adjust it as I go. All right, so I know this intro is very long. It's probably going to be over an hour before we get to the first fight, but there we go. It's PC mode or AC mode? I guess AC. The beginning of August. Traffic density 5 cars per hour. Daily estimate of approximately 100 people using electric railways. Temperature 38 degrees centigrade. This summer, the humid weather makes it painful to breathe. Someone said that we looked like fish in a tank, gasping for breath. Melty Blood. I hear that as I pass by on the streets. I had to laugh to myself. A fish in a tank, gasping for breath. I mean, Misaki, the text here is pretty small. Could you read it all right, or?
See it?
Okay. It's true, a fish out of water will suffocate, but not fish in a tank, like us surrounded by moisture. Then I thought about it a little more. A fish left all alone. It drifts, motionless, to the top, belly up. The water stagnates. It grows dark with algae. The dead fish opens and closes its mouth. Ah, that's what they meant. Yes, those words describe the summer perfectly. Roasting air feels like you could hold it in your hand. It's impossible to see more than 10 meters ahead. Even though it's the middle of the day, no one is around. The silence of abandoned ruins hangs over the town. The streets aren't even any shadows of cars. You could sleep in the middle of the road without any worries. It's like I'm walking through the ruins of an ancient city, lost beneath the sea. Sorry, I just didn't volume a little more. So what they said about the fish was dead on. I, Tonoshiki, aimlessly drift through this bright darkness. Tsukihime. Strange summer. It's not that no one is here, it's just that no one is on the streets. Platforms by the trains are empty. All that passes by are the trains full of people. On the other hand, you can see where people are if you look carefully. Inside the department stores, things are as busy as ever. The cafes are full as any other day. It's only outside that looks empty and abandoned. It's a normal summer day inside the buildings. Right, everyone is inside. It isn't because it's so hot outside, rather, that rumor is the cause. Did you hear? There was another murder in the park yesterday. You mean that rumor of vampire serial killer? I guess it hasn't ended yet. I hear voices discussing the same story yet again. The sound of the voices behind me. A group of girls eagerly sharing the latest gossip as they walk. Hey. I turn around to talk to them about it. There's no one there. The city is abandoned. As if the voices were just the wind and those girls passing by were just a mirage. Maybe to those girls I was also just a mirage as I passed by. I realized my legs brought me to the park. There's no one here either, only the silence of deep night. Perhaps this is what they mean by midnight sun. No, midnight sun is when it's actually sun's up at midnight. I think this is the girls now, maybe?
Before? All those murders? The killer who murdered all those women for no reason. I know, he's back. I heard they found bodies ripped apart in the alley.
The voices catch me and I turn around. Oh. We just can't get this right, can we? Schoolboys hazing the light of the midnight sun fade away. That is the reason why Tonoshiki walks through the town alone. When did all these rumors start to spread throughout the town? They say the murderer is back. They say the victims die from blood loss. They say the killer is a vampire, death itself. The incidents from 1 year ago had almost been forgotten. I know this isn't possible for that vampire to have returned. That killer died, and no other vampires have appeared. but that hasn't stopped the rumors from spreading. All across the city, they whisper the stories, the body count rising with each telling. Yesterday it was the park, today it's the alley. Will it be the school tomorrow? Body count is still rising. More and more people believe in the rumors, until no one will go out at night. This is exactly what happened 1 year ago. Suffocating heat. The town where traffic has ceased. But the strange thing is, there are no strange murders this time, just the rumors. If crazy dream. I feel dizzy. Not surprising since I've been walking all over town since this morning. My parched throat wants a drink from the machine, but it seems I don't have my wallet. Oh man, I just don't have any luck these days. I complain softly, but it's true. The phrase seems to be popular this summer. That phrase. Actually, everyone I pass seems to be saying that. Bad luck. I feel so uneasy. Only bad things happen. I'm heading in a bad direction. Accidents just keep happening. Like the time my foot slipped on the stairs. Or when I accidentally saw Hisui changing and Akia and Kohaku kept teasing me. Or that misunderstanding with Arcoade where she got so upset. When I broke that dish Senpai liked so much. So much unhappiness at each little thing. The heat makes it hard to think, but maybe there's nothing strange about it at all. Other people are having bad luck too. But then again, it seems to skip over that faultless Arcoade, the calm and composed Ciel Senpai, the perfectionist Akia, and cleaning master Hisui. That in other words, it is all just these coincidences that... Is it all just these coincidences that give me such a bad feeling? Is it not coincidence, but inevitability? Again, the words of someone passing by. I sense someone turn around behind me. Alright, once again. Okay.
Excuse me?
A girl I've never seen before bows curtly and walks away. That's rare. A foreigner. Well, not exactly rare. After all, Arcoade and Ciel Senpai are both foreigners. The hair on the back of my neck starts to stand on end. I stop walking and try to think why. After a few minutes, it hits me. Oh, is that it? Simple, really. I started wandering the town like this 2 days ago. That girl is the first person I've seen clearly. Dizzy again. Probably because I've been standing in the heat too long. You know, it's true. The summer is like a bad dream. Hologram Summer. Night on the Blood Lyre. Program number 6. Error? What?
Supposed to be there?
I hope it's supposed to be there. Okay. Severing contact with Tonoshiki. Successfully withdrew ether light from his brain while passing by. I think this is the girl.
Severing contact with Tonoshiki, successfully withdrew ether light from his brain while passing by. Have moved to a sufficient distance. Strange. Did I fail? Tonoshiki had a strange expression on his face when he saw me. I do not think anyone can detect a filament only a micron thick.
Oh, is that it?
Tonoshiki spoke those ambiguous words and sat down beside a flower bed. He was probably dizzy. His data indicates that he is not in favorable health. This is the alley. No sign of anyone being here for at least a week.
Like in the new version of the Tsukihime title theme.
This is where Tonoshiki entered into his contract with the true ancestor Arcoade, and thus fought with chaos. Tonoshiki's mystic eyes of death perception allow him to see the lifespan, the end of existence for any object. Here, he first met the true ancestor Arcade, Brunstad.
I guess this is a recap for anyone who didn't see, who didn't read Tsukihime.
No, it really was their second meeting. The first time, Tonoshiki was a dangerous killer ruled by his taste for death who barged into her plans. Yes, according to memory files I can read, Tonoshiki is normally a kind-hearted individual. However, homicidal impulses may emerge. He cannot be classified as harmless. Able to perceive an existence as death, Tonoshiki can dismantle anything using his knife. He's the only one who can kill the immortal true ancestors. True ancestors, a legend which has been handed down through the ages and never fades. Vampires, destroyed by the light of the sun, the living dead which drink the blood of others in exchange for immortality.
I think this is the first time they've like directly stated that they would be destroyed by the sun. Like they've kind of danced around that up until now.
At the beginning of the vampire race, the true ancestors. Humans whose blood was sucked by the true ancestors become blood-drinking monsters themselves. Those who became vampires because of true ancestors are called dead apostles. Most vampires today fall in this subspecies of dead apostles. The oldest and most powerful of these are called the 27 ancestors. Nero, one of the 27 ancestors, was annihilated here.
I'm taking a look at this list here. I think some of these were mentioned in Kigetsu Toya.
Shortly thereafter, the Serpent of Akasha, who had his blood sucked by an ancestor, had his cycle of reincarnation ended here. Number 10 of the 27 ancestors, Nero Chaos. Unnumbered, the Serpent of Akasha, Michael Roa Gadomyong. Even the Knights of the Church were unable to defeat the two of them. Did no one predict they would meet their end in this far east country?
Someone left a comment. Foe is on the list? Where? I don't see him. Unless it's a different name. I don't think Foe's a true ancestor, but... oh, you're right. Number 1, primate murder.
His title?
Yeah, he mentioned it at the... in Solomon, after he revealed he was Beast 4, he said that in other worlds he's known as primate murder. So...
No. There was one person who predicted it. There was one who saw the possibility of the outcome. It wasn't a very detailed prediction. His equations formulated that the ancestor will fall to ruin in this land. The ancestor has fallen, but the true ancestor still remains. Of course, the agent of the church is still watching, and other factors continue to interfere with further calculations. The power structure of the country Japan is different than ours. There are peculiar rules followed in the island country. One of those rules is to let demons take care of demons. The ones unifying the demons in this area is a Tono family. The current head's mixed blood resulted in abilities closely resembling the vampiric race. Tono Akiha? I am interested in her as well. But he and the true ancestor...
Or of no concern, I think it was the last of that.
are no concern. There is no time left. I've spent too much time observing this place. If it escapes this time, there may not be a second time, or second chance. 3 years ago, that vampire escaped the hands of the church. I will destroy it this time with my own hands. There are several days until the full moon. As much as I do not wish to admit it, I'm going to fight with calculations that do not guarantee victory. A sad thing for an alchemist of the Atlas Academy to say. However, it is not too late. 3 years ago, after that failed vampire hunt, I left the Atlas Academy. The Magi Association had cast its feelers far and wide to search for me, a deserter, and bring me back. Fleeing has taken a toll on my mind, body, which have already begun to fail. All the same, I made it. There is still a possibility I will accomplish my goal. I must hurry. I have only one purpose, to exterminate that vampire. The affliction of a vampire's desecration of a human body, and the vampire whose roots spread here in this town. Because I must remove both of them,
Yeah, so here's the annoying part of this game. In order to get these different endings, they have to win and lose specific battles.
Oh, dang.
Sion and Eltham Sakaris hereby decreed as candidate for Academy Director. So this is, in fact, this universe's counterpart of the Sion from Fate Grand Order.
The grim face of the university president reading the edict. The students and the teachers look at each other, wide-eyed. Unhushed whispers rise, and hundreds of eyes face me. Surprise. I'm astonished. I never would have thought it. Blame, unforgivable. Denial. I can't believe it. Other words I can't make out, blending together into sounds as arcane as the syllables of a spell.
Henceforth, Sion Eltham will be Sion Eltham Altalasia. She'll be accorded the privileges and respect of an instructor and have the same status as an ambassador at large.
The words of the university president are absolute. Not just because of the authority of his position, but because the words make it clear it is a command. There is no protest from the audience, only more glares directed at me. It is not as though I've suddenly changed. Of all those gathered in the Great Hall, only the university president and I seem calm. As for everyone else, the students and even the teachers are dumbfounded with surprise. I suppose it is natural. I am now Sion Eltham Atlasia. Those given the name of Atlas are chosen to represent this academy. No one guessed that out of all the students and faculty, it would be an Eltham. Of course, I was calm. Not that I was informed beforehand that I would be given the name Atlasia. Simply, that among the Atlas Association, I was the only one with the requisite power. Instead of being surprised, it was rather natural to be bored. Just what has changed in my life since then? I do not look any different in the mirror. Since I was an Eltham, a once noble house, the others treated me with contempt. I excelled as a student to erase the sin of my ancestor. The others wanted only to have me removed. As long as I was the top student in the class, all they could do was ignore me. Once they became Atlasia, I had the power to remove them. They were afraid of my retribution. They probably believed I would treat them in the same manner they treated me. They did not want to receive any contempt. I am a noble. The blood of the sinner Eltnam runs through me. I am not ruled by my emotions. In the first place, I do not feel any emotions towards them anyway. If they wish to distance me, then I will keep them distant. That will not change from before. I do not need anyone, so I do not need to associate with them. I already had the needed laboratory, so I just continue to excel in my studies. It was 8 years ago. Was that correct? Was that what was mistaken? Even now, I don't really know for certain. How old is Sion?
Oh,
8 years.
Yeah. Well, if she, I know Fake Red Order Sion mentioned that she's a vampire, so maybe this one is too.
True. Not good. It's already this late. I opened my eyes. Was it because I was so exhausted? I saw a meaningless dream. No, because I was dreaming, you could say I was not completely exhausted. If my mind were truly burdened, I would not have seen anything. Probably because of overexertion during the day. There is something wrong with this much heat. I had heard the Japanese summers were hot, but I had not thought it would be this bad. The heat shining back from this town is too strong, even for me, a child of the desert. I thought I would sleep through the heat of the day, but it seems I could not control the time of my awakening. A cold night. I must have slept too long? Whatever the case, confusion is for certain. Not sleeping properly and not ordering all this information, setting myself up for failure. But before that, I must confirm where the next incident will occur. As long as I can move, I must finish the preparations. Fortunately, I have data on this town I downloaded from Tonoshiki. I can find the source of all of these incidents without needless roaming. Come to think of it, Tonoshiki, securing him is also a priority. It is before midnight. There are 3 possible routes he will take. It should be easy enough to determine his current location.
Shrine, skyscraper front. And all that's left is this. I come out of an unfamiliar clearing, a small clearing apart from the office buildings. Still a short while ago, everything was another large city park, but it now transitions into private property. Wow, from down here it really looks impressive. I look up at the building under construction. I heard the monumental architecture would be finished next spring. Nobody seems to be sure exactly what it's going to be, but it's something important. I've heard everything from a big department store to the corporate office of a powerful electronics company. The areas around it are also being landscaped. Maybe I don't have to go this far. Land all around the building is perfectly flat, like a mirror. The name of the building, Shrine, may be appropriate, but it's going a little too far. Well, I hold my breath and scan the area. No sign of anyone else around. Of course, there are less and less people at night as night falls, thanks to the rumors of the vampire murders starting up again, but I can understand why no one would be in the park or the back alley. But this place is empty of people for another reason. Well, after all, this is private property. The only people around would be trespassing, so why should I expect to see anyone? And then I suddenly get assailed by nausea. My fingers are numb and my throat is parched. My pulse quickens. A feeling like poison creeping from the back of my brain. Without even realizing it, my right hand reaches into my pocket and soullessly takes out my knife. This sensation. I felt these chills so many times before. Am I just disposed to them? Before I meet up with something unworldly, I always get assailed by the sensation. I sense someone. Someone standing right behind me. Someone, a human, on this private property where no one should be. A faint chill, and a vampire has returned. But something is... I feel a little different. Are my reactions weak? It simply feels different from usual. A discomfort that indicates the presence of an outsider. Well, show yourself. Hello? Is someone there? I speak with my knife hidden behind my back, and then...
Yeah, but his knife is behind his back and he's trying to... What? Shaky, think things through. Good evening. Do you have business with me?
Even though it was also sudden, the girl speaks so calmly. Seeing her, I was startled. That distinctive dress and hat, definitely a foreign look, and I'm almost afraid to say, but she looks really cute.
What is it?
Oh, well, no, nothing really. Sorry, I mistook you for someone else. Sorry to be so rude.
You do not have to apologize. But that is not the way to greet someone, is it?
Her tone is so smooth. Now that she mentions it, it makes total sense. Lately, I seem to be off kilter. You're right, it's a little late, but good evening.
Yes, nice to meet you. So, what are you doing here? Are you looking for something at this hour?
Yeah, something like that. What about you? You couldn't have not heard about how dangerous it is at night. Oh right, if she's a foreigner, she wouldn't have heard the rumors circulating in this town. She's probably just sightseeing. She wouldn't know anything about the vampire murders last year either. It's nothing. I don't know why you're here, but it's better to not hang around places where no one is around. You never know what might happen. She just stares at me. It's only natural. There's no way she can understand me if I keep suddenly blurting out all this stuff.
No, you cannot say I don't know what will happen. Whatever shape he takes, the vampire will appear. Even you are patrolling in order to find him. Are you not, Tonoshiki?
What?
You could say we are looking for the same thing, Tonoshiki. Although our reasons are very different.
She speaks devoid of any expression. Those chills return. Pain in my temples like a stabbing needle.
An irregularity, like you, throws the equation out of balance. Unless I move quickly to root out any problems, the results this time will also be undesirable.
Her arms swing forth and I hear an unfamiliar click. She holds a black gun in her hand.
Please, resist if you wish. My name is Sion Eltnam Atlasia. Your freedom now belongs to me.
And with that, she jumps towards me. This foreign girl I've never met before attacks me with almost unspeakable speed. Player's prayer?
本気なんだな。戦闘開始します。ラウンド1。
So I'm going to try to win every fight, and, you know, whatever happens, happens, and then we'll take a look at the different routes as we go. So, I mentioned this to Misaki off stream. For some reason, this game in particular only accepts analog stick input, not the D-pad. The other games work with the D-pad just fine. So because I have to deal with that, a little hard to do the inputs I want to do. Of course, I'm just pressing buttons at random anyway. I don't know his moveset.
Round 2 ファイト計算通りあなたで突破できる
Someone in the comments said that the original version of Melty Blood was real slow compared to this one. Yeah, so like I mentioned again at the start of the stream, we're playing React Final 2, which is the last version of the original Melty Blood before they moved on to Akidenza.
Looking up our Fate Grand Order, Sion's name. Okay, our Sion is her other name, Sion Eltnam Sokaris.
Okay, so he didn't become a high-ranking member, I guess, in FGO. I set the difficulty to whatever the second level was, or it was measured in squares. It's set to 2 squares right now.
Now I'm wondering how this Sion would react to Fate Sion.
Come to think of it, I wonder if Archetype Earth, the Archwade in FGO, has anything to say to her. That'll be interesting when she
I'm
gets
excited
added.
for that.
Yeah. That's enough. I don't know what you're trying to do, but it's meaningless to continue.
Yes, I admit defeat. Even though I collected all your data, I could not finish reading it. Even if everything was walking on a tightrope, I can't believe I'm finished before I even had a chance to start. What's the matter? I have no strength to resist. This may be a selfish request, but please end it as cleanly as possible.
Cleanly as possible? Look, you seem to know something about me, but aren't you making a big mistake here? I'm no killer out for blood. Even if you asked me, I wouldn't kill you.
Not a killer?
Yeah, I'm not gonna hit someone while they're down. I don't have a quarrel with you, so there's no need to take it all away. I'll take it all away. If you promise you won't attack me, I'll let you go. You don't look like a vampire anyway.
This is troubling. I may keep quiet, but I will not lie. Therefore, I can't promise not to attack you again.
Eh? You can't? You can't? Then you mean,
That's right. Once my wounds heal, I will bind you. If you don't like it, then you just have to kill me. For someone like you, it would be very easy.
Idiot. What do you mean easy?
Eh? Did you say something, Tonoshiki?
Yeah, I said something. I was complaining about being involved in something weird again. For crying out loud, if it's not one thing, it's another.
I cannot understand. This seems to be causing you pain.
You're the one who isn't understandable, but you don't look like you'll go back on your word.
Yes. As long as I am not mistaken, I will not change.
I see. Your expression speaks for you. Why do I only meet these kinds of people? Well, anyway, can you tell me about your situation? You've been telling me what to do, so maybe you can at least tell me why?
My situation. You mean my purpose here?
Yeah, for some reason you don't seem like a bad person. If you could tell me about your situation, I'll listen. I'm also kind of curious why you attacked me.
I understand. I was told you were not a bad person, and this confirms it. I should have explained the circumstances from the very start, Tonoshiki. My goal is to find a cure for vampirism. I have been researching a way to return humans bitten by a vampire back to normal.
A cure for vampirism?
Yes. As you know, someone who became no longer human after being bitten by a vampire, you can understand, right? The result of someone being desecrated by a vampire is death. Of course, we know how a human could become a vampire, but we don't know if a vampire could return to being a human. Many magi have attempted to research this problem and failed, but I do not intend to. I will make the impossible possible, and that is what Atlasia means. Tonoshiki, I believe you can understand how I feel. Like me, you have seen a friend become a vampire before your eyes.
You seem to know a lot about that.
That was inconsiderate of me. This is upsetting you.
No, it's okay. I'm just being childish. I understand what you're saying. You want to find a cure for vampirism. I can't hate you for something like that. Why'd you attack me? I'm not turning into a vampire, and I don't know a lot about them either.
Of course. I did not come here to make you a research specimen. I came to this country to ask the cooperation of a true ancestor.
True ancestor, as in Archwade?
Yes. If I want to find a cure for vampirism, I have to study the source of dead apostles, a true ancestor. If I merely needed data on the dead apostles, the church has compiled much of that. However, that is insufficient. I need to investigate an unaltered true ancestor.
I see, but I'm not sure Archwade would go for that. She's kind of fickle that way.
I know that. A noble true ancestor would not grant the request of a mere mortal. I need you to negotiate for me.
Me? Negotiate?
Nod.
Idiot. That's not going to work. You think she'd listen to me? Where'd you get an idea like that?
Well, you... The true ancestor... Aren't the two of you... lovers?
Depends on which timeline we're on, Stione.
With you as a mediator, perhaps I could speak with her a little. That is why I wanted to secure you first. That is all the result of my carelessness.
What? Carelessness? You mean before?
Yes. I drew in all of your data. The numbers indicated that we are evenly matched, but my thorough knowledge meant my chances of winning were high. However, my loss means my abilities, with the slightest fraction lower.
Then it isn't being careless. Doesn't that just mean your fighting ability is?
What are you saying? I only lost because of carelessness. Excessive carelessness. My performance was far below my standard. I admit I miscalculated your power, but under normal circumstances, I would have been the victor. You see, an hour ago, I calculated every single one of your maneuvers. Doesn't this just mean my evasion rate data was off by less than 0.5%? If not for that small mistake, our positions would have been completely reversed. Can you not understand such a simple thing?
Right. Sorry, I doubted you.
No. I was being a little rude. I would appreciate if we just changed the subject.
She seems totally different from before. To get back to your problem, you really just want me to bring Arkaway to you?
Yes. My intent was to formally request the true ancestors' cooperation.
I see, so you won't give up even now? Okay, if that's the case, oh well.
Oh well? What do you mean?
I mean, I can act as a middleman between you and Arkawade. In all likelihood, she's going to say no, but you wouldn't give up unless we tried, right?
Nod.
Come on, it's just asking for cooperation, right? So I'll lend you a hand. To be honest, I'd like to cheer on someone doing your kind of research.
Cheer on?
Yeah, suddenly attacking me out of nowhere was surprising, but we can call it even. If the research is successful, I feel like I could finally help her. I'll do something about Arkawade. Actually, I'm looking for her right now. I figured she would know something about these disturbances happening. I went to her place, but...
So she has concealed her location.
yeah, and by patrolling the town, I thought I'd find the rumored vampire. Or at least Her Highness the Fickle Princess.
I understand. Then I can lend you a hand in your purpose. If you're tracking down the rumors, I can find the vampire more quickly than you can.
Eh? Really?
Yes. If the rumored vampire does exist, data gathering is my specialty. If I have at least a backup, I can scan the minds of everyone in this town in one day.
I don't really quite understand, but you don't have to go that far, do you? She has a scary look in her eyes. But yes, I'd appreciate any help. I was feeling kind of hopeless by myself.
Then I will calm down these rumors.
Jeez.
And you? and I will chase down these rumors. And you?
It's alright. I look for Arkawade and bring her to you... It's alright if I look for Arkawade and bring her to you, isn't it? But there's another thing before that.
Before that?
It's Sion, right? If we're gonna be partners, we should call each other by our first names, shouldn't we?
You have a point. Very well. You may call me Sion. And you?
Ah, Shiki's fine.
Shiki.
Yeah, that's much better, isn't it?
Shiki.
Yeah.
Shiki.
Yeah, I said that's fine.
Then, I will go start gathering information on the vampire. Please prepare for the negotiations with the true ancestor, Shiki.
Yeah, but we don't have to go right away, you know?
That would be the best, I think. We'll both need some time. Let's meet again tomorrow night, right here, in front of this building.
Okay, I think I can manage something by then.
Shiki, can you... Hold on for a minute.
Yeah? Did I have something on my head?
Something like that. Well then, see you tomorrow night.
Yeah, see you tomorrow. This seems a little familiar. It reminds me of a year ago. It's nothing. See you tomorrow night, Sion.
Yes. See you tomorrow night, Shiki. I like how he never questioned how she knew all that information about him.
Yeah. Daughter of Atlas. That night, the air was maddeningly hot. Water. Don't actually know if this is Shiki or not. I run, seeking any moisture I could find. I run through the dark forest. Run through the hell of a steep mountain pass. Compared to walking through the familiar deserts of No, that's... okay, it's Sion.
run through the hell of a steep mountain pass. Compared to walking through the familiar deserts of my youth, the mountain path flooded with trees is like walking on needles. All the knights who had accompanied me are dead. No one is left alive. I go back to the village. All the villagers are dead. The well is dried up. The river is filled with corpses. Still, I crawl my way to it, hoping to find water. Choking, I drink and drink. As if I'm brought back to life. Something feels intertwined. Like a large cloth, endlessly intertwined. It's in my way, so I pull at it over and over. I tear and pull, but the cloth still gets in the way. Each time I bend to drink, I get wrapped further inside. I pull again, and the rustling cloth entangles in my fingers. Again and again. Rustle. Rustle, rustle. Rustle, rustle, rustle. Rustle, 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 rustle. Rustle, 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 rustle. Skin. The human corpses shaped into a large sheet. Dead bodies. Empty shells drained of everything inside. The skin of all the hundreds of people pushed in and piled until the dark and damp rotted away their skin, and it all oozed together into one hideous sheet. Sheet. Even seeing that, I need water, so I continue to drink. They get in my way, but I drink anyway. The cartoon-like faces are actually comical. Yes, mutilated, fleshless, organless. The seemingly clothed corpses were piled up here. Everyone was drained. That vampire drank every last drop of their blood. What a nightmare. As if it was a curse.
Atlasia, even if you're the only one, you have to survive.
Speaker was one of the knights. The only one I knew. A knight of the shield. A woman. Mash, is it you? Just like me. That is why I survived. Allowed to escape. She is definitely. I run along the mountain path. I run until dawn. But there is no way out. The curse rebounded on itself. Cursing myself, I cannot escape from myself. And before my eyes, something appears, black as night. It drinks and drinks. Filled to the brim, the blood leaks from its eyes. It is not enough. However much it drinks, it cannot be sated. Crying tears of blood, begins to laugh. The fluttering of black wings. The black eyes draw near. Drip, drip. The rich red blood continues to flow. Dawn approaches. At my crawling ankles trying to escape, something wet and slippery. The crying, laughing, blood-drinking monster.
Ooh.
And then I wake up. It is still daytime, like in my dream. Today is stifling hot. Did she fall asleep in the alleyway?
I guess so. And she's got nowhere to stay, so...
Dang, I thought she would have at least rented a hotel room. I think I am not suited for walking around during the day. In the first place, I spend most of my time indoors as an alchemist. My skin isn't used to being in the burning sun. All the same, I made a promise. To him, to Shiki. A promise to gather information on the vampire in his place. Longitude, unmeasurable. The laws of time do not apply, yet it appears in the pre-designated space. It is not born.
Oh, it's going automatically. Shoot.
All the pieces are assembled. Knowing what actions will take place, the future is simple. The appearance of the town has not changed. The streets are still empty. The heat radiates off them like smoke. Why did I volunteer? It occurred in a mountain village in Western Europe. If they need alchemists, they should have requested the ones from Prague. All the same, the church requested help from us, the Atlas Academy. Even though people pass me by, if I look behind me, no one is there. Only a strange emptiness. First, limit the conditions, the place where it will occur easily. Culture, the population. Furthermore, simulate world affairs. Consider the random appearance of aces. 2,000 patterns is acceptable. Begin after all variables are assigned value. Values with only some possibility are. I raised my hand. They said they needed calculations, so I thought I would calculate. Yes, we need to calculate. That is the all-encompassing fundamental of the Alchemist of Atlas. It is just so hot. Too hot for even a desert dweller.
Is this her parallel process thing that she gave Nemo?
Yeah, it must be. Not needed. Filter for optimal candidacy. 12,500 corresponding sectors on the Earth. Only those places are where it can occur. Measuring atmospheric pressure results in predicting the time and place of a typhoon. It is the same. Then, grasping its general progression is... I hurriedly entered the large building in order to download data simultaneously from the gathered minds there. With only poor magic circuits, we cannot rely upon magical means for the realization of the occult. Therefore, we only use our minds to do so. We read the stars, the wind, people, the... This is why they call me the spirit hacker Sion Eltnam. This filament, meteorite, is able to compel and coerce the human's nervous system. Possible. The problem is yes, guessing what its prime condition is. What was the original case of the phenomenon? What does it desire? Eternity? It cannot be. Such foolishness. Why would I desire that? There. Because the intent is not to destroy the mind. You cannot call it cracking. World. Collecting information to diagram the root ancestry of events. Our brains are possessed by the demon of Laplace. We interfere with limitless possibilities to set up limited formulas for reading the future. I really don't need to do that. In the first place, a meaning to live forever? Perhaps there is? Stop it. Stop. Utter chaos. I want silence. Cut. No, I have to tell myself not to cut. I'm still being influenced by that nightmare. Calmly. Cut. I have to block these thoughts from my mind.
Didn't catch any of that.
The thought process halted is what I saw.
Yeah. I saw 7th something, 3rd something. Yeah.
Suddenly, I'm very tired. My throat is parched and sore. My tired body collapses in on itself. I expel the air from my lungs. It's like breathing fire. Can't breathe. My vision blurs. If I don't rest, if I don't sleep properly, I won't be able to keep going. I may only have 2 or 3 days left. But I can still move. If I can move, I'm still alive. I'm still injured from last night's battle, but it won't slow me down. I really was careless yesterday, wasn't I? I knew about Shiki's abilities, but I was never clear on his fighting experience. Maybe he only fought on a few occasions, but those were against members of the 27 Ancestors, agent of the Church. If he was strong enough to stand against creatures like that, he could hardly consider me to be a real enemy. It is a little regrettable. What was that outburst? Shiki has already agreed to help me. There can't be any problems, so what is regrettable? My ether light is connected to him. If he tries to back out of our agreement, I can calculate his location easily enough. After we agreed to cooperate, I touched his head and attached my ether light. Not remote control, but direct contact with my ether light, burrowing into his nervous system, therefore. But that's just in case. I start to feel less and less well. I should stop thinking these extreme thoughts. Anyway, I have to fulfill the promise I made him.
I'm sure if you wanted to, you could just cut it, but...
You know, right?
Yeah.
Information collection ended easily enough. It does seem that most of the citizens have heard of the second coming of the vampire. But it is only thin rumor, not too different from the information that Shiki knows. All the same, no one denies the rumor. Even if the credibility is non-existent, is the rumor accepted naturally? Everyone seems to feel something bad is going to happen. The emptiness of the town has crept into their hearts. The town will bake in the heat today, and probably tomorrow as well. The stage is set, a town under attack by fierce heat of record high temperatures, the spawning of strange paradoxes of unknown origin, terrible ideas, ill omens, visits to the temple portending bad luck. Coincidence? The dark night where laziness fed by anxiety becomes reality. Even though not one murder has occurred, everyone says it happened, and the vampire has returned. And, during the deep night in the empty town, a lurking shadow which wanders the streets. Soon, the moon will form a perfect circle in the sweltering night, which seems itself to be in agony. Until then, I must guide this loose rumor into a definite shape.
Sion arrives according to schedule.
Good evening. You were right on time, Shiki.
Same for you. A big difference from someone I know. Actually, she would come extremely early and then go hide.
Shiki, how did things turn out with the true ancestor?
Well, it can be pretty hard to get hold of her sometimes, but I left a note in her room. Maybe tomorrow will be different.
Is that so? So she covers her tracks well. This won't be easy.
Right. As fickle as she is, she might just have decided to go off and play around for a while without even knowing what's going on.
Perhaps. Do you not think she left you intentionally, Shiki?
Intentionally? What do you mean, Sion?
I mean, that the returned vampire could possibly be the true ancestor.
That's impossible. Arkway would never do the kinds of things they're talking about.
Never? You really are a wonderful person, denying it so completely like that, Shiki.
Well, thanks. I stammer a reply. For some reason, her words don't seem sarcastic, and almost have a ring of admiration to them. Anyway, Arkaway doesn't drink human blood. You might not know this, Sion, but she...
He isn't the vampire in the rumors, right? If you say so. However, if the vampire has returned to this town, then isn't it strange that there is no other vampire around besides the true ancestor? There has to be something which was a model for all these rumors.
A model for the rumors? Wouldn't that be the incident from a year ago?
That isn't the model, but the source. The rumors have been very clear about that. No one has actually seen or heard anything themselves. Putting aside what is true or false, does there not have to be some shadowy figure wandering the night on which to base these rumors?
Sion is a little hard to follow. No, in the first place. Sion, I've been wondering, you talk about research and studying vampires. Who exactly are you?
I am an alchemist. You know about Magi. Do you not? The one named Ciel belongs to the church, but there is another organization called the Magi Association.
Or just the Mages Association, according to FGO.
I am a member of the Magi Association. There are 3 separate branches. I belong to Atlas. The church views vampires as their enemy, but they have an agreement with us, the Magi Association. You could say we're a military force that isn't black, but not white either.
Magi Association. If that's the case, and maybe Sensei is also in this association. Maybe Sion even knows her.
I do not. Your sensei is London's problem child, so it is natural for a member of Atlas like me to not have met her.
What did you say, Sion? How did you...
I can tell what you're thinking. You're someone whose face is easily read.
Yeah, she just guessed he was talking about a specific person from his face. I'm used to Akia and others saying that, but it is a bit of shock to hear from Sion, whom I've just met. Whatever, then what do we do from here? It isn't fair if you don't tell me the results of all the information you gathered before.
Don't mind. But what I gathered was not really any different from the rumors you heard. So I have nothing to tell you.
My, that's a little troubling.
Isn't it? So now we will just have to confirm it with our own eyes after all. If we're going to find the rumored vampire and the source behind it, we have to search the city at night.
So we're back to that. I didn't expect anything better. This reminds me more and more of what happened last year.
So, this is my plan, Shiki. Why don't we look together? I don't know this town very well. I would be wasting my time without a guide.
Well, they said you had to better than one, but is it alright? Your purpose is to research vampires, so...
We cannot declare for certain that the source of these rumors isn't the true ancestor, correct? Reason stands that if we fulfill your goal, it would be easier to find the true ancestor. It would be meaningless if only I found the true ancestor, and you would become free much quicker. I think that goes without saying.
I see, that's what she's thinking. Well, we'll see, I guess. Alright, give and take then.
Yes, as much as I can, I will help you with your agenda.
Park. We've walked so far and still we haven't found anything. This town is strangely quiet, but there's no odd feeling in the air.
We haven't gotten to the areas mentioned in the rumors. I hate to say this, but more victims will appear as time passes.
Huh? Sion, what do... Whoa.
Halt.
Who? Senpai?
Hono-kun? Why are you with her? Sion Eltnam. Don't tell me you... I think you misunderstand, Agent. I asked for Shiki's help, so he accompanied me. No one forced him. As for what you're thinking about, no. Is that so? So he has nothing to do with you then? So you won't ask for his help when we fight?
Senpai, hold on. This may look like something is going on, but you don't have to bring out your black keys like that all of a sudden.
Hono-kun, please be quiet. Goodness, why do you always show up in these bothersome situations? Or is it that you can't resist the request of a cute girl?
That's definitely not it.
At any rate, stand aside, Tono-kun. I will not listen any longer. If you get in my way, prepare to be punished. Sion Eltnam Alasia. An order has been issued by the church to take you into protective custody, or failing that, to capture you by any means necessary. A similar request has been issued by the Atlas Association. Do you have anything to say in your defense? I have nothing to say, but I will not let you capture me. If you try, you will be destroyed.
Yeah, saying that all of a sudden is a little... But wait, Sion, what did you just say?
You will not comply with the church's orders? Very well then. As an agent of the church, I am placing you under arrest. I will make you reflect on your actions. Your partner will also have quite the painful experience.
Wow, Senpai, why are you getting so serious? Who should fight? Ooh, I can actually choose who to play as. I don't think this impacts the routes, and I'll just do whatever. I'll go Sion. Wanna try her out?
Round 1 Fight. ゼロフロア終わりです無駄な抵抗をやってくれましたゼロ
I wonder how Akiha feels about all this.
I don't know if she knows what's going on, but...
Gosh darn it, Shiki's sneaking out again at night.
Yeah, that is true. I appreciate the pixel graphics, by the way, like the like pixel art like this. Yeah, good.
Round 2 Fight. ゼロフロア動くなゼロフロア打ち抜くゼロフロアやります動くな沈みなさいやっ戦闘再開します どにセーフ再復戦まだじゃあちょっと
Actually, is there a control list here? No. Oh, is this timer still going? Oh no, I was afraid right now. It's weird to have the FPS up there instead of a timer.
Is there even a timer?
I don't think so. I might have turned that off. I don't know if it was in the settings or not. Oh, cool. I thought I had a limited number of bullets per round, but I reload.
この程度です無駄な抵抗を沈めなさい戦闘再開します撃ち抜くゼロフロア計算通りです動くな
Ooh. She's got glasses.
ファイナルラウンドファイトセーフ沈みなさい先ほどにじゃっセーフ逃がしません間違無駄です無駄な抵抗をこの程度です戦闘再開しま
Just
した
imagining Shiki sitting on a park bench watching them fight.
What was that?
I'm just imagining Shiki sitting on a park bench watching
Oh,
them
yeah.
fight.
まだまだです
There we go. Glad the routes are determined by just winning or losing. Like, I know some other games like Blaze Blue, you have to actually like win with a super or something to change the ending.
So painful.
Yeah.
That was enough. This battle is ours, Agent. I see. Your abilities have certainly improved. Fighting you now would be a bad idea. Furthermore, since he is helping you, it would be best to let sleeping dogs lie. Sion Eltnam at Leisha, I entrust your monitoring to him now. Your involvement in this is disturbing, but it is foolish for me to be distracted from my main task. That's a strange thing to say. Shiki and I are partners. He doesn't mind my involvement. Yes, you may be right. You may be right. He is nice to everyone, so I will not get in the way. But no matter what, you will not be able to do anything bad when you are with him. You best keep that in mind. Tono-kun?
Yes, what is it, Senpai?
You don't have to be so apprehensive. Since you chose to associate with her, you'll have to supervise her until the very end. You can't leave her alone halfway through.
Me? Supervise Sion?
Yes. Since she is investigating vampires, she will need your protection. I will not be able to help you until I have killed the dead apostle, so you have to protect her until then.
Until you kill the possible. Wait, are you looking for the vampire from the rumors too?
Of course. I am on formal orders from the church, and a powerful dead apostle is hiding somewhere in town. So I ask you to not do anything foolish, Toro-kun. If the church is involved, then that must have already begun. Just as you say, Sion Eltnam. I understand your feelings, but hunting dead apostles is the business of the church. you should stay out of it. And as for apprehending you, that is the duty of the Magi Association. For me, everything else is secondary to the hunt for dead apostles. I am being overlooked? Of course not. Because as soon as the dead apostle hiding in this town is disposed of, you will definitely be a top priority. You are saying that I should leave Japan then, Agent? I am surprised you would be so soft. I heard from the Knights that the Burial Agency was one of the most bloodthirsty groups of killers around. Was that information wrong? No, they were right. I just don't feel good tonight. Even if I am part of the Burial Agency, I am still human. It seems there is at least one person trying to play innocent. After everything is over, you can tell me all about it, Tono-kun.
Fierce heat with scattered lies.
Goodness. The fact that she found us is a big minus, but the fact that she can be pushed back is an unexpected development. I expected that if I encountered her, I would be forced either to flee or to be destroyed. It seems that external factor tipped the scales in my favor. You, Shiki. She certainly is cautious when it comes to you. An agent of the Burial Agency saying, stay out of trouble. Don't get in the way of my duties. I never would have thought it. Still, this could help remove the biggest obstacle to our plan if this... Shiki? Are you even listening to me?
Huh? I'm sorry, Sion. What is it?
Not... what is it? Didn't we just turn back an agent of the church? Is this not traditionally the part where the victors celebrate?
Yeah, something like that, I guess. All we did was simply push back dealing with the problem until later in the future. But Sion, we really did just make Senpai really angry. Let's not think about it, the unpleasant future right now. More importantly, what was that thing Senpai was saying earlier?
Mean... thing?
Thing about the order to arrest you. And then protective custody, and, well, maybe that's not so bad, but the capture you by any means part is a little much, isn't it? You told me you were a Magi from Atlas, but you never said you were on some wanted list.
Of course not. I felt no need to speak of it.
You felt no need. You don't just hide something like that.
Shiki, please stop yelling at me so much. You are drawing attention. But it certainly was a mistake on my part. I did not think even the church was searching for me. It seems the Magi Association is really intent on returning me.
Alright, I can accept that, but what in the world did you do? For Senpai to really attack someone like that is rare. I mean, it doesn't happen often. Are you sure you didn't do something to make her angry, Sion? So, it would be troublesome if you didn't tell me, you know?
Troublesome. Shiki? Why?
If we're going to work together, we have to have an understanding between us. We've got to be able to rely on each other. There can't be any more secrets.
Is that part of being a partner?
Yeah, that's really important between partners. Sion?
Shiki, Atlas is hunting me because I turned my back on their doctrine. Objectively, I have not done anything wrong. You are not an accomplice, so there is no need to worry.
No, I wasn't asking if you did something wrong. I was just wondering why Senpai was after you.
Please believe me. I didn't do anything for you to despise me.
Yeah, I believe you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Let me explain the rest. The medical association I come from is the Atlas Academy. There is one overall Magi Association, but different places have different academies.
I know, the large Magi Association is in London. Senpai said that earlier.
That is Clock Tower, hidden within the very famous British Museum. They're only one of the most respected associations. Many Magi try to imitate their stances. But I'm from a place far away from there, an alchemist of the Atlas in Egypt. Other academies encourage learning and experimentation in a wide variety of disciplines. In Atlas, there is only one path, and those who venture off it are severely punished.
Severely punished? Siam, don't tell me.
Yes, I broke their one commandment. Atlas strictly forbids the dissemination of knowledge, and I travel to other academies and exchange information with their researchers.
You mean you traded away secrets from this place, Atlas?
No, I would never reveal Atlas's own secrets. The information I traded was the fruits of my own personal research.
Well, they shouldn't have gotten angry about it if it was just your own work.
Atlas does not see it that way. They believe that the results of one's own work should be revealed only to oneself. That is their absolute law. Consequently, they view my actions as a serious transgression. Perhaps it is very unbecoming for an alchemist, but getting answers to my questions was more important to me, Atlas's restrictions.
Answers to your questions about a cure for vampirism?
Yes, exactly. Questions about the dead apostles, the thought process of those humans who sought immortality, the underlying fate of those humans avoiding such a contradiction. What drives them? Why carry such doubt within me? Those are my chains.
I'm sorry, but could you be a little more clear? Your explanation is a little extremely hard to follow.
Well, excuse me. Your inability to comprehend things is really something. Just dumbing down my words to meet your vocabulary takes forever, and now you want me to somehow match everything to your limited intelligence? No, in the first place, my explanation was not lacking. The only thing lacking here is your ability to understand anything. Anyway, the point of my crimes was to find a cure for vampirism. Don't you want that too?
Well, sure, that would be great, but Sion, you...
What? What is it, Shiki?
It's not a question of your motives. Didn't Senpai say you had a connection to this vampire mess?
Of course. I am entrusted to gathering information for you.
Stairs.
I don't know. I don't have any connection to it. Why is it so hard to believe that I don't have any connection to this trivial, inconsequential vampire fair in such a far east country like this?
Wow, trivial is pretty harsh, isn't it?
No. That isn't what I meant. I meant it as, at its current stage, it is trivial. These rumors have not been verified, nor have there been any victims, right? In other words, it will be serious once real victims turn up.
Just some rumors. Really is pretty trivial. Maybe I was a little stupid to investigate it just because it seemed interesting.
You've got it all wrong. Trivial isn't the right word. We'll be lucky to end this before victims do appear. Look, Shiki, you can't just ignore the rumors about a vampire has returned to return in town. I reappeared in town.
Don't ignore the don't ignore the rumors, Sion. I thought you came here to see Arcade, not because of those rumors.
Didn't I say that before? I came to this town to meet with the true ancestor, and then a totally unrelated dead apostle just started to appear here.
Well, whatever.
What do you mean by whatever, Shiki?
You have your secrets, but I can see you're not really a bad person.
You can't understand anything at all. As a matter of fact, you really get on my nerves, Shiki. I really do not want to explain it all to you, but...
No, it's alright. I think I understand your situation. The situation better now, so we can just end it here. More importantly, it's almost sunrise. The sun will be up soon. The vampire only comes out at night, you know.
Miki, your family will be up soon, right? It would be meaningless to continue our search any longer.
Hey, Sion, how do you know that much about me?
Because your thoughts are very strong. I don't want Akia to find out about my night patrols. Is your highest priority. Akia is very important to you, but you're a little scared of her, aren't you? You seem to think about her a lot. If you think about her so much, I wonder what kind of person she is.
Let's just stop here. Please stop. At any rate, let's go our separate ways for now. We can meet again tomorrow night at the same place. We might be able to catch Arcoid next time.
Eh?
It would be better if you hid yourself in daytime. Despite what Senpai said, she may just come looking for you if you're alone.
I was going to do that.
See you later then. Meet you at the usual place tomorrow night.
Troubling. How can you just trust me so completely like that? Well, that confirms that he's sneaking out again.
Yep. Let's see, who is it?
I'm dreaming. For me, it is a waste of time. Even if sleep is necessary for resting the brain, to have to see these pointless thoughts. Probably because my body is weakening. I can't control it. Isn't this a contradiction? If I am so exhausted, I should be too tired for dreams. All the same, why is it that I bring up these meaningless thoughts? The name Eltnam, something of a scar on the face of Atlas. Awe, loathing, avoidance, criminal. No one said that, but that's how I was viewed. A family known for their long devotion to alchemy. Once considered distinguished by nobility, respected figures who commanded great influence. When did that all change? I shared information. My father did the same, and his father before him. That is how we increase our knowledge. Those of the Outnam do not take their knowledge from books, but from other humans. That is the result of a rational pursuit of knowledge. If you want to know something, you don't necessarily have to study just that one thing. It is more efficient to copy the knowledge of someone who has studied it and more. You will have the whole of his knowledge, not just one piece of it. So thought our ancestors, who created the means by which we can read data directly from the human mind. Using the Etherlight, the artificial nervous system constructed by Ether, hacking into the soul is possible. When the Etherlight touches another human being, it merges with their nervous system and links their mind with that of the user. You might say it takes over that person's hardware. It directs the body. Ordinarily, the brain is its only control center. The ether light hacks into this process and becomes a second control center, sabotaging the original. It hacks orders to the body, which believes it came from its own brain. The ether light penetrates to the deepest level. From the brain, it takes information. It creates a blueprint of the soul, from which thought processes are derived. Of course, to completely see someone requires the breach of reason, instinct, thousands of barriers. It truly is a talent. With this ability to invade the information of others, the House of Eltnam can overcome any obstacle with ease. The target has no choice but to yield their knowledge. Other powerful methods of collecting a person's knowledge: drugs, the hypnotic gaze of a vampire. Those methods can damage the information so that perfect playback is impossible. Certainly, they damage the target itself. But our method is different. Our way does not leave a scar in the mind. Thoughts are invaded, downloaded, even rewritten without the person being aware. Even morally bankrupt alchemists consider this heresy. So Eltnam kept its great power a close secret. But even close secrets inevitably become open ones. By the time I was born, the Eltnam name was no longer a distinguished one. 3 generations ago, our secret was discovered, and we were estranged from the Atlas for violating its rules. I suspect the other alchemists were also afraid of our methods. In that way, people distance themselves from the Eltnam. But that is not necessarily a bad thing. My grandfather, my father, and I did not receive the kind of persecution that might otherwise have been expected. Our methods are rational ones, no matter how feared and disliked they may be right now. No alchemist could deny our accomplishments or our power, nor could they surpass us. So instead, they attempted to ignore us. We could not be penalized. So we were treated as if we did not exist. In the pit that was the Atlas Academy, the House of Eltnam resided in the deepest darkness. But even that was not a problem. Others may view us as fallen, but the pride of Eltnam never wavered. I worked hard as a proud daughter of Eltnam. Truly, I was superior. Despite my past, I would soon return and demonstrate my abilities. No, not a problem at all. All those who could not oppose me could only ignore me. And I, who possessed abilities worthy of the name Eltnam. There were no doubts about my future. None at all. No reason for doubt anywhere. But I was a slave to my doubts. What kind of doubts? What was I looking for? I do not even know the answers to that myself. The gap between me and everyone else increased moment by moment. And I didn't notice how heavy my burden had become. It is time. The sun is set, the town silently turned to night. Not good. Already this late? I can barely speak through my painfully dry throat. I knew sleeping in a proper room would have been better. The heat of the day dried my skin so much, it crackles as I move. Shiki, already coming. But he's 10 minutes early. Right. I have to keep up so I can warm him. My connection with Shiki through the ether light gives me the occasional glimpse into his thoughts. It seems he kept busy, spending all day searching for the true ancestor and for the rumored killer. Is that just a part of his personality, I wonder? He really is honest, completely different from the genius act which I play. I don't get it. For some reason, I'm not very good at making conversation with Shiki. It is not painful or unpleasant, but I'm just not very good at it. But now that I think about it, actually, I've never spoken to someone my age who was of the opposite sex. So, this is the first time for me. Well, back then in Atlas, it was unthinkable. No, not, no, that isn't it. I simply did not think about it. Ah, I feel sick. Everything before me turns red, and I feel like I might collapse. Stop it. Don't think about your circumstances. Eliminate all thoughts. Excess thoughts are dangerous. There is but one thing I need to do. Negotiate with the true ancestor and restrain her. Then separate her from Tatari. And this time the vampire will... Tatari?
Yeah, I feel like I might have heard that name somewhere before, but I don't know. This time I arrive ahead of our agreed meeting time by 10 minutes. Just as before, Sion was already there waiting.
Good evening, Shiki.
Hey, just like I thought, you're right on time, Sion.
Of course. I didn't expect you to be...
Yeah, what was that, Sion?
Nothing. I don't normally talk to myself, so let's just continue with our patrol.
For some reason her face seems pale. Is she in a bad mood? She seems kind of run down. Sion, are you okay? You look like you've overdone it.
No need to worry. Management of one's own body is a basic skill for alchemists. More importantly, how about the true ancestor, Shiki?
About that, I couldn't catch her today either. I think she may be deliberately avoiding me.
You may be right. Maybe she's trying to act like some kind of perfect honor student, just like that agent yesterday.
No way. That's not Arcoid at all. She's probably just concerned about me.
Indeed. The workings of the heart are truly foolish, aren't they? Just as well. So no results today either.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. I did leave a note in a room. I have something important to tell you. You know what I've been doing, so come to the park after midnight. If you don't come, I won't make breakfast for you anymore.
Shiki, do you really think the true ancestor will take that seriously?
Oh, she will. A while ago, she and Akia got in a big fight. However it looked, Arcoid was the one at fault, and I told her to apologize. Of course, Arcoid said there was no reason to, but as soon as I threatened to stop cooking her breakfast, she apologized to Akia properly. That is the best bargaining tactic with her. I puff my chest out confidently. Sion stares at me in amazement.
I see. I must modify my assumptions about the true ancestor.
She nods to herself. Shall we go to the park? Maybe we'll meet her this time, Sion. The moment we reach the park, I feel something wrong already. The smell of blood is overpowering. We run into the depths of the park, fighting our way through the thick night air to find... what? Under the pale moon, above the countless corpses, above the ground dyed with blood, Arcoid stands before us.
Despite being a failure, this could almost pass as the real thing.
Glancing at the moon overhead, Arcoid laughs amusedly. Something strange in the air. Without a doubt, that is Arcoid. But there's something slightly different. Something not quite right with her.
last, you're here. Shiki, you call someone and you don't even meet them on time. Not to mention, when you finally arrive, you're with some other woman. Now I'm starting to get ticked off.
She giggles. The pressure builds in the air around us. The abnormality almost overwhelming. I start to lose my self-control, just like Akia does when she's drunk. Wait, are you real?
Oh, if you have to ask that, then I have to wonder about you. Well, we'll find out soon enough. You there, Magus. You have some business with me? Yes, my name is Sion Eltnam Atlasia. As an alchemist, I seek your cooperation for a great undertaking, Princess of the True Ancestors. Cooperate with me? How rare for someone outside the church to say that. Fine, let's hear it. I'll listen if you don't bore me. Yes, I am researching the process of vampirism. Those who had their blood drank by true ancestors and become dead apostles. Against this one-way process, Then, you mean... Yes, nothing short of curing vampirism. There is some abnormality in your kind's blood that causes humans to change. If so, then there has to be something which could cause them to turn back. For that, I need the blood of an original true ancestor. Oh, no way, that's boring. So I'll just stop here. You can't just dismiss that as boring. When you get down to it, isn't it just a disease that you're all spreading? You can't just ignore the dead apostles like that. Oh, I didn't say the dead apostles are boring. I'm saying that you're boring. What do you mean by that? I mean, that is impossible. Once humans become vampires, they can never go back. You can't turn back time, Sion Eltnam Atlasia. And isn't your purpose different? Curing vampirism? That's a lie. You know yourself that is impossible. Isn't that right? Because you've already long since... Quiet. It was foolish of me to ask for your help. Humans and true ancestors can never work together willingly. I will force you to cooperate.
Sion dips slightly. In the instant, her gun is out, and she charges at Arcoid. But, Sion, wait! The voice of reason doesn't make it on time. Sion rushes to attack the composedly lounging Arcoid. Nope, hold on a second. If he didn't get interrupted, did it, Misaki?
No?
Okay. So, I have the game, so I've got two hard drives in my computer, a solid state and a hard disk. Windows is running off the solid state, whereas files and this game are running off the disk. When the disk isn't active, it stops spinning, and then it takes a while for it to boot up again. And sometimes it causes problems with loading in games, so the game actually froze for a second on my end. Usually I have games on the solid state, but for one that's old, I don't think I need the faster loading, so... Because the hard disk is a lot bigger than the solid state, so I don't try to put stuff on there unless I need to.
Makes sense.
It's hard to control, although it could just be the fact that I have to use the analog stick.
動くな。安全は保証する。ラウンド2ファイト。行くわよ。やあ、抜けろ。戦闘再開します。はあ、撃ち抜け。そら飛べ。甘く見てたわ。甘い。はあ、そらそら。まだまだ。戦闘再開します。そら飛べ。まだまだ。沈みなさい。気分はどう？そら。
I guess you just picks him up probably with one hand.
沈みなさい。まだまだ。
What? This might work. If I can find a cheese trying to fight a game, I always make full use of it. Oh, nah, she got through.
動くな。安全は保証する。
Read your moves. Victory's mine, Arcade Brunstad. Using your speed of thought in order to predict your opponent's movements. Analyzing the probability of fluctuations and choosing the most suitable attack. Alchemist of Atlas. But even if you can know the future, you cannot resist it. Humans in a sinking ship who know their final hour can gain no benefit from such knowledge. But that is the destined outcome of a fight between you and I. You may predict my movements and try to counter, but you can't really oppose me. You can't change a gun's lethality. Even if you know the bullet's path, you lack the ability to dodge it. It is as you say. The alchemists of Atlas will not go through with an experiment if they do not have all ingredients for success. Indeed, no matter how I approach the problem, I lack the elements to defeat you in a fight. You understand then? But you did keep up with me. If you can do at least that much, then why do you even bother with alchemy in the first place? But that doesn't really concern me. I'm less curious about you than I am about why Shiki is spacing out over there. So Shiki, why the heck did you call me and then show up with that woman? Don't tell me you're actually the fake.
Fake? Isn't that my line? What's that mountain of dead bodies then? What about you? Were you really Arcoid?
That wasn't me. You did it before you came here.
Was Naya here? I did it?
Yeah. Although when I watched, he looked a little fake. In any case, it seems like we all have been influenced by that thing. If you don't watch out, you might just turn into a true killer.
Turn into a true killer? You mean, what do you mean?
The realization of anxiety. You're the one who stacked this pile of dead bodies. Isn't Seal looking for you right now? Although, in the first place, you can't really call this murder.
What are you doing, Arcoid? It's already too late. Stop kicking those bodies around like that.
Oh, Shiki. You're still tricked. Just take a closer look at all this, won't you?
A closer look? You... Huh? What is this? Just some scraps of food and trash? Huh? Huh? What is this? I swear there were bloody corpses right here.
See? You were deceived, Shiki. You had some very bad experiences, so you're more likely to make this stuff real.
Is it okay if I ask a question, Arcoid?
Yeah, sure.
What's going on?
Isn't it obvious? A pile of trash you mistook for a mountain of bodies. The work of a killer. No, a vampire.
A vampire? A model for all these rumors around town? Sales Senpai was looking, but I should have known you would come too. You would be too.
What's this? You already spoke with Ciel? That's strange. Then even if it does appear, it may not be a bad time. Oh, I see. Because I'm here, it hasn't decided on a form yet. That idiot. So greedy that it can only end in self-destruction.
Arcoid, you're the only one understanding everything. Can't you just tell me out a little?
That girl over there has all the details. I can't really explain about the dead apostle this time. And isn't it better to hear from somebody involved in all this?
Involved? You mean Sion?
Exactly. You know, I really want to kill her, but you would probably get in the way, right?
Are you stupid? Of course I would. What's with this crazy merciless attitude all of a sudden?
Hey, I said I'm letting you go, Alchemist. Until I've confirmed the strength of the vampire, I won't be wasting any of my power. She left before we could stop her. Since we cannot keep up, pursuing her would be useless. Furthermore, it is dangerous to stay here. I don't think there would be anyone else around a sweltering night like this, but even if there was just one, he might be branded as a criminal.
Criminal? I didn't kill anyone or anything.
Perception is reality. Anyway, it is a good idea to move somewhere else. More trivial matters are likely to occur if we stay here.
Got it. Well, I really don't get what you're saying, but let's just leave here.
This vampire sounds like a prankster. Fake dead bodies.
Oh, distant farewell. About what Arkway said earlier, why does music keep starting for half a second, then stopping? When Arkway said you were involved, what was she talking about? Sion, you said you didn't know much about what was happening, but you really do, don't you? I don't know why you're trying to hide it, but...
I was not hiding it. It was a truth that I only knew as much as you did about the rumors. But yes, I do know more than you do about the dead apostle hiding in this town.
I knew you'd be difficult, but if you knew about it... I knew you'd be difficult. If you knew about it, how come you kept quiet?
Because you were just looking for the rumored vampire. For example, it would be like just buying medicine whenever you were sick. You didn't buy the medicine because you wanted to find out what was in it, right? So it was meaningless to explain everything about the dead apostle.
Hey, there is meaning to it. If you don't know your opponent, you won't know how to counter him. He's just a rumor after all, so we don't know if he's really that bad. And if we can resolve this, we'll be If we resolve this by talking, it'll be much better.
Laid back. If you think you can talk with it, then you are wrong. You are so wrong, it gives me the chills. This is against my better judgment, but consider it a reward for agreeing to help me. Right now, you seem to simply want peace with that vampire. But if you die on me because of it, my ability to finish this may be in question. Shiki, the source of the rumors in town, the dead apostle that the true ancestor and the agent of the church are searching for, is the one called Tatari.
Tatari? You mean like a curse?
Yes. The etymology derives from this country's word for curse. The dead apostle Tatari is a vampire lacking independent individuality. It pieces together anxiety from the bits of rumors to appear real and feeds in cycles.
A rumor that appears real and feeds in cycles.
Yes, a certain criminal that that revels in the reactions of others to its deeds. Ah, so it is a prankster. Dead apostles are normally not content with simply drinking blood as the years pass. They make their own rules and take pleasure not only in drinking blood, but in protecting those rules. To make matters worse, Tatari has the ability to gather up rumors. Similar to the true ancestor's marble phantasm, the Tatari is able to materialize the imagination of humans. So the more uneasy humans are, and the more bad rumors spread, the more its power grows.
Hey, then, you mean that in the absence of bad rumors, he can't exist?
Yes, a curse's strength is extreme anxiety, and operating on this principle, it can transform general rumors into reality. That which is called Tatari truly does have the ability to materialize rumors. It is one kind of what we call a reality marble. Strong dead apostles are able to create within themselves a different reality from the outside world. This reality marble is a separate world created from one's imagination. Usually, its form is completely fixed, but Tatari's reality marble is something which takes form from nearby humans. Because of that, the contents of the reality marble are separate from that of the world from around it. Reality marbles are also very short-lived. No matter how strong a dead apostle is, he cannot maintain one for more than a single night.
A single night is the limit. Is that why the rumors of the killer are only at night?
No, Tatari has not yet occurred. In order to take form, the rumors must spread through town in order to increase their probability.
I don't know, an entire night seems pretty long for a reality marble by Fate standards.
Right now, Tatari is only a rumor. But just rumors cannot kill anyone in reality, right? Tatari is spreading roots through this town, permeating it with unpleasant rumors. As time passes, the rumors start to turn into reality, and it can occur due to the bizarre circumstances. That means the likelihood of a true killer or vampire serving as a model is high. In any case, thanks to all those incidents which occurred before, I think it is only natural for the people of this town to feel uneasy about it.
Oh? In other words, this apostle named Tatari hasn't drunk blood in this town yet, and he has to wait until the rumors become closer to reality before he can?
To put it succinctly, yes. For Tatari, the town in which he appears is only one stage, and the audience has just arrived. Their imaginations feel the play, and when the seats are filled,
Tatari appears. The curtain rises.
Yes, for one night. In the past, Tatari would claim victim after victim in the town in which she occurred until it was morning. At times, it would be given to preying on everyone in the whole town. At any rate, he was the unpleasant rumor everyone in the town believed in. Humans cannot fight back against their own nightmares, their worst fears given shape. Because they cannot fight back, it truly is a nightmare, and
Once the curtain begins, there's no stopping it.
correct. And you are also part of the audience. No, you might just be the guest of honor. There is a high probability whatever unpleasantness you think of will become Tatari.
Yeah, well, why me?
Because you're the main character, Shiki. You are the human most tied to the true ancestor. You're the one receiving the true ancestor's favor. So this town is considered quite desirable for an appearance.
The true ancestor's favor? If that's what you think, you're a little mistaken, but why would that make me such a desirable target?
You know the true ancestor very well, right? If you think about it, it's very obvious. The absolute worst nightmare in this town would be a true ancestor gone mad.
Then, if I get worried about Arcade indiscriminately drinking blood, or that Seal Senpai and Akiya getting in a fight would be bad, then...
The chances of that becoming reality is high. Curses work on the principles of changing things which exist rather than creating something out of nothing. Please think of Tatari as a sort of dead apostle who uses curses as familiars. In this case, wouldn't it simply be easier for Tatari to take possession of the true ancestor and start rampaging rather than truly becoming a rampaging true ancestor? Consequently, your image of unpleasantness is much more clearly defined than anyone else's. Having seen so many real vampires, you provide a far more vivid image from which to construct a false one.
Hey, wait a minute. Then, if I imagine that guy, for instance... If I get trouble thinking about that... Sion?
Oh, gah.
Sion, what's wrong? Are you hurt from your fight with Arcade?
No, that is not it. I just suddenly became nauseous. No need for concern. More importantly, Chiki, what are you going to do now?
Why do you ask that?
Our efforts to negotiate with the true ancestor failed, but there still remains the possibility. Her top priority is dealing with Tatari, so we may still use it as a bargaining chip. In other words, there is no need for you to act as a mediator. You can just go back to...
In that case, then let's do it together. I'm looking for the vampire anyway, and you have to do something about Tatari before you can talk with Arcade. We are partners after all. You're a help to me, too.
I am surprised. Shiki, you still intend to help me? Well, I do not have any more information for you, and I'm still hiding so much.
Haven't you answered whatever I asked? If I don't understand anything, all I can do is ask, right? All I have to do is ask. Anyway, let's just roam around for a while. We still need to do something about this Tatari dead apostle before his curse becomes real. With that, Shiki... Oh.
With that, Shiki and I began to search together. I wonder why. There is no need since the true ancestor has refused to cooperate. And he still doesn't understand what Tatari is if he thinks he can just run into it while we walk around like this. It is meaningless. If it was so easy to run across Tatari like that, it would have already been sealed by the church long ago. Understanding the futility, I still continue to search with Shiki. In other words, the reason is unknown. I can't believe it. Things I do not understand discomfort me. So why am I? This lack of understanding is probably getting on my nerves.
Sion, maybe this direction is better?
There is nothing in that direction. Traces would be found not in the center of town, at its edges.
Its edges. Let's see. The park, my family's mansion, the industrial sector, the brand new construction site. Oh, the school? That's where the vampire's lair was before.
It is of no importance if you exclude the school. During this holiday, there will be no one here, no one there, correct? Tatari will not appear, where no rumors will start. In other words, a place where no people gather.
Oh, then let's head off to the construction site.
My choice of words was not correct. Tatari does not like crowded places. Instead, places where one can view signs of life are desired. Then elevated places such as a school or the tonal mansion are desired. We hurry to the construction site, the place where Shiki had to experience a parting. His thoughts flow into me through the ether light. Despite appearing calm, his thoughts are all full of his classmate that became a vampire. Those thoughts become painful. A deeper look at Shiki's true state shows him to be an austere monk, treading across a mountain of needles. But unconsciously, he repeatedly tells himself to ignore the path so he can continue walking forward. Should I just cut the connection with the ether light? If I do that, his thoughts will no longer flow towards me. That is where the nausea came from earlier. Shiki was imagining the thought of blood so freshly, I practically became drunk on it.
Sion, be careful. The steps are crumbling. It is very bright, so watch your step.
I know. I can see that much by the moonlight.
Yeah, it's almost a full moon. I guess it is bright tonight.
After he says that, I look up to the sky. The golden moon hangs overhead. The dark, chaotic ruins remind me of that night. The night 3 years ago. That one night in the mountain village. The village destroyed by Tatari. I was the only one who survived. No, I was allowed to escape. I shamefully escaped from that thing from which it is impossible to live after having your blood drank by it. Shiki, can I ask you a question? Do you hate vampires?
That's a pretty tough question, Sion.
In the darkness, Shiki takes a step forward. Right behind him.
I hate them. There's no doubt about it.
For a brief second, I sense an icy intent to kill.
But my hatred isn't directed towards them. Only humans have a conception of good and evil.
I see. There is no good or evil when it comes to vampires. Just displeasure at drinking blood. A monster that drinks human blood. An usurper who steals human blood. That monster let me alone escape. I asked why it let me go.
What do you mean? I feel sorry for my own kind.
Saying that, as it smiled, it disappeared. To think that is one of my relatives makes me so angry I could go crazy. One in whom the blood of Eltnam flows. The same blood of Eltnam within me.
Okay. So that was just flashing back to her ancestor.
This body wish can no longer turn back.
Looks like this way is a bust. I was thinking maybe the center of town seems suspicious.
Red. I don't like the color red.
Shall we go back for now? Next time we'll try that.
Blood. I don't like to remember blood.
Sion?
To need something like that who...
Sion, hey, are you okay? Sion.
So I won't allow it. The one who let only me escape. Myself who escaped. And this weak flesh of mine. Yes, this time, in order to lower the curtain on the Midsummer Night's Dream.
Oof, we've managed to carry her this far. I've managed to carry her this far. I place Sion gently down on the bench. Unconscious, she lies there, breathing painfully. Sion may have some sort of chronic disease. She looks worse than when I met her, and she did just collapse after all. Well then, what do I do now? I don't know where she sleeps, and it would be a problem if I just left her here. Of course, I'll stay with her until she wakes up, but I want to take her somewhere else. Why? Taking her here in the dead of night wasn't a good idea. There's even that trouble with Arkaway just a little earlier. But there really is no other place I can take her. My place is, of course, out of the question. Just what would Akiya, Hisui, and Kohaka-san think about me then? Senpai's room and Arkaway's place are the same. In that case, I just have to tend to her until morning.
I mean, the park bench is better than the alleyway.
True. Let's see. I understand your fear, human. Staying in a place like this, you must fear the memory of that night you spent here. We're all around to face that voice. I see. Oh. The fear saturating you is impossible to erase. It is difficult to banish into oblivion when it spawns from the darkness within you. Why are you here? There's no way. No right or wrong. I simply exist here as myself. It must be a fake, not reality. I must be a fake, not reality. It may be an impossible existence, a decaying corpse, but if allowed to exist, I will turn myself into reality. A vampire in a black overcoat, Chaos, the enemy I once defeated, the one who clothed himself with 666 familiars, draws closer to me. You wish to fight? Naturally. You were the one yearning for annihilation. A curse is no more than one sin returning to them. Therefore, this curse is the fruits of your own wandering thoughts of self-destruction. His black coat flutters. From that darkness flows countless beasts.
Shiki? Urgh.
Oh, another one. But a magus. Not many circuits, but of fine quality. It has been a long time since I last fed on a magus. Be assured, I will inherit your intellect. It will not be wasted.
Shiki, you... Of all things, you had to think of that here?
Well, this isn't my fault. Then it's my fault it came after all?
Did I not say Tatari was something which could not exist unless it received the influence of others? A monster which could not normally exist, one which gives rise from the fears of others. To you, Neurochaos is a curse which embodies both of those things. It is exactly the kind of form that Tatari impatiently waits for during the full moon.
You should have thought of the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, Shiki. Who? You mean he...
Yes, that is the dead apostle called Tatari. Things are moving faster than planned, but it cannot be helped.
Sion gets into a fighting stance. The vampire, which made his appearance, raises his hand towards us in perfect composure, just like that time before. Excellent. I defeated you once before, and if you insist, I will defeat you as many times as it takes. I readied my knife and advanced towards the vampire. My knife and Sion's thread, and mingle with his roar underneath the full moon. Okay, thank you. I'm tired of using Sion. I'm much better with Shiki.
Round 1 Fight.
Hey, seeing him in action is pretty cool. Say it better with Shiki and I'm losing.
To an extent, it's better he thought of Nero instead of like someone like Akuha,
Yeah.
who instilled fear within him.
Oh god. Hate using the control stick. This might be our first loss.
ラウンド2
Like if I have to, I'll turn down the difficulty next time to make sure we get the all-win ending. Just keep kicking in the shin. Oh, jeez. That was much better.
ちゃんと反省すること。
ファイナルラウンドファイト
Wonder what that building in the background is with the flashing lights.
Oh yeah. Was that the building we were at earlier, or is that a different building?
Can't tell.
Stop throwing birds at me. Alright, oof. Pull that out.
ちゃんと反省すること。
Gah. Not bad. As expected from number 10, exceeds even my former potential. But in these circumstances, it will not be enough. What's going on? He's fading.
Too early. After all, you are the only one for whom Neural Chaos is a strongly held fear. There is not enough strength of rumor for full conceptualization. In that state, anyone could kill Tatari.
An opening. Ah. I am to be killed by you a second time? I see. Myself or even our ancestors are but frail beings before an exception like you. Perhaps an irregularity like you can even summon a princess and bestow upon me that form. Very well. Being one of the 27 dead apostle ancestors has lost its flavor. Being an original would be much more appropriate for my final form.
I can't believe it.
Even if it is pointless, that statement escapes my... Oh, that's still her? Okay.
Even if it is pointless, that statement escapes my lips. The eyes of Tonoshiki see death. Not the death of substance, but the death of me, of existence itself. I knew that from reading his data, but I didn't understand it. He truly is a god of death. Tatari's incomplete form is information. To be able to attack and eliminate it, like a tangible object is... What a wild card. For him, he can probably kill concepts beyond human comprehension.
Gone. And did I defeat it?
Shiki says this in half-belief. It isn't because it was simple compared to the long gone dead apostle. In the first place, if Tatari is composed only of information, He cannot be a challenge. Shiki, being well tuned to the life and death of an opponent he defeated before, is simply able to perceive the passing once more.
Sion, just now.
Yes. It is finished. You have destroyed the vampire you were looking for, Shiki.
For real?
Yes. Well done, Shiki. You destroyed Tatari before there were any victims. I lied. With such an obvious lie, he might be able to tell, but he really has no way of denying it. I am his only source of information regarding Tatari. If I say it is finished, then all he can do is nod.
I see. Got it. Well then, what are you going to do, Sion? The dead apostle Tatari, he's gone now.
As a true ancestor will not cooperate with me, I have no need for this town, or for you. I will soon be leaving.
Is that really okay? About Arcoade?
Yes. In the first place, I knew my chances of gaining her cooperation were low. Our negotiations failed, so there is no second time. Rather than waste time negotiating, it would be better for me to return to my research. That has always been my goal.
Oh, that's fine, but in that case, it would be better to just go back. Oh,
It would be better to just go back, he says in a perfectly natural tone as he stops. His words, they are correct. For me, it is meaningless to search for Tatari tonight. I understand it was meaningless for me to try to use Tatari in the negotiations with the true ancestor. So, that is why I agreed to search for the vampire with Shiki, even though it promised only a small chance of success.
Sion, what's wrong? You don't look too well again.
No, there is no need to worry. In other words, even if it was just briefly, I worked with Shiki unselfishly. The reason is so simple, it almost does not come to mind. What is this? Does this mean I have a liking for him?
What is it, Sion? Suddenly staring at my face like that.
Shiki is flustered. Probably because my behavior is different than usual. Yeah, I feel the same way. Until now, I never really spoke with someone of the opposite gender close to my own age. Until now, I have never held a strong interest in that. I never knew it was this easy for people to start liking one another. It is troubling. My chest starts to get tighter, and my face starts to get hotter. It is a failure of the fundamental control all alchemists learn. But, just as well, it does not appear to be a negative sensation. Perhaps a dog running on the ground that suddenly became able to fly would feel the same exhalation. Thinking that, I suddenly feel a strange happiness. Psst. I am suddenly overwhelmed by nausea.
Sion, you've been acting a little strange for a while now. Isn't it better to just rest after all?
I am feeling poorly, so I will return. Because the vampire causing disturbances in this town is gone, our cooperative relationship is now finished.
Yeah, that's true.
Then we will part here. Farewell, Shiki. I withdraw my ether from Shiki. The thread connecting us is now broken. The contract between us also reaches its end. I turn away from him. My nausea vanishes, as does my feeling of exhalation.
Exaltation.
Exaltation. With that, the type of miracle occurring until now becomes elucidated. Because I never liked anyone, I could only feel unhappy about myself. So I endured it. I endured it by my dry, empty, and meaningless actions. What moved me was emotions that I never truly felt before. These emotions, no, the emotion of liking something was barely a part of my life. So these past 3 years, I just endured it. But even that is at an end. Whether I like someone or not, this body has reached its limit. This body has reached a level where I can no longer maintain it without drinking blood. But maybe there's a plus side. A human before it transforms into a vampire. Being bitten by a vampire, a human that can only become a vampire is brought down by one thing. Wanting someone else. Just that simple emotion. I know that now.
Oh, huh, that's weird. Why did we go to L and not K? Lord of Lies. Oh, wait, I think K is... We have to get all the other endings and then come back here again to get that one.
Oof. Hot. My throat is parched. How long has it been since my thirst has been quenched? My body is harmed by the rising sun. In exchange, these abilities far surpass my previous ones. That is only natural. If your momentum increases, you must increase your intake of nutrients. Regular food will not suffice. It will not satisfy. This thirst will not leave me. Red blood, screaming from anguish. This body which can only be healed by corruption. Always. For these past 3 years, I've always resisted the temptation. That night. Ever since the summer when I was bitten by Tatari. Hot, hot, hot. The walls of my throat stick together, as if to block off my head from the rest of my body. My head floats above my body, as if not even attached. There is only one way to bring everything together. There are no nerves connecting the limbs of a vampire. What connects a vampire is just red blood. Moreover, the blood of others. Vampires cannot survive without stealing the blood of others. I won't do it. I will never do it. I never want to be the same as that one. Because an existence like mine that cannot survive without stealing from others is a mistake. But at the same time, I know it is only natural to require a greater intake of energy in order to maintain such a desired existence, an existence where such a supreme level of life force exists. The race of vampires is an existence far beyond that of humans. So a human diet could not compare to that of a vampire's. In other words, red, blood, anguish, despair. Of course, you cannot say that is normal, but the energy it provides is immense. I know that. I understand. As an alchemist, what makes sense is justified. So does that make the race of vampires justified? For them, as living organisms, they are not doing anything wrong. Drinking blood is a totally natural phenomenon without any shame. But I continued my refusal to do it. I don't understand. Why do I keep clinging to my humanity? It does not add up. Some numerical value must be incorrect. Otherwise, I would not still have these doubts. I can think of this all calmly. But just where, when, and what is mistaken? What is mistaken? Mumbling that, I awaken. Night. It is finally a full moon. That is the time limit. All the ripening rumors will become Tatari tonight. My true goal, bringing vengeance to the one who initiated me into a race of vampires, attacking the enemy of Eltnam. It will end here, no matter what, by tomorrow. I think I am finished. These past 3 years, never returning to Atlas, continuing my flight from the church, and my relentless pursuit. All in these past 3 years. During that time, all I have gained is just an understanding that my vampiric impulse may cause me to develop a liking for others. In the end, I didn't even discover what was wrong. Not that I wanted an answer. All I wanted to know was where Sion Eltnam, went wrong. I didn't need an answer because that was... After all, even if I found an answer, the dullness of my existence would not change. It isn't that what is wrong or right. What is wrong is right. Just, I only wanted to know what was wrong. All the same, I couldn't even fulfill that simple desire. Time to go. Tonight will be the last night. I emerged from the back alley. There is only one place to go. That shrine where the whole town can be seen, where he and I first met.
The tall, partially constructed skyscraper, this place, by some strange twist of fate called Shrine, will be the final stage tonight. Will be my final stage tonight. Oh wait, oh, that's still her.
I knew from the very beginning where Tatari would converge. I didn't come to the city because I could sense his presence like an agent or a hunter. I reached my conclusions through my calculations. They projected a location, and this city matched it. Almost time. This time I will. Even if I am alone, I will defeat Tatari. My entire body freezes, just thinking that I am unable to combat that monster causes my thoughts to halt. That is only natural, not knowing what shape it will take. I do not know if I can hold my own against it. An enemy who has not taken form cannot be analyzed for data. Alchemists are those who fight using information, yet I do not even have that to draw on. I must go. It is almost midnight. With shaking legs, I advanced forward with my mind still encased in ice. And then...
Ah, you finally came.
In the entrance to the building...
Hey, you're an hour late, Sion.
He's there, raising his hand in easy greeting. Shiki?
Yeah, but what's with that expression? You look like you've seen a ghost.
Because you... Why?
Why not? Didn't we promise? Until we both met our objectives, that we would cooperate? So it's not quite over yet. You haven't found what you were looking for, Sion.
I see. In short, he saw through everything and was playing dumb. I am a little surprised. My ether light is attached, so I don't know what he's thinking. But I truly know just how good of a person he is. Because he knew he didn't destroy the vampire, and that I was hiding something from him. He still waited for Sion Eltnam, just like before. Certainly, there still remains one of my objectives. But that is my problem. Your objective was met last night, so I do not think there is any reason for you to wait for me.
Oh, yeah, sorry, but please don't worry about it. After all, I couldn't quite rest easy unless it was completely confirmed. If the vampire was still here, it would be bad. I'm not finished yet, so there's no reason for me to go back. Well, since our goals are pretty much similar, we can't just team up. Can't we just team up like before? So let's stay together a little longer.
I do not mind, but I cannot bear responsibility for what happens. It will get deadly, and I will look out for myself more than for you. Are you still okay with that?
Sure, I do the same thing, I won't mind one bit.
I wonder.
Did you say something, Sion?
I cannot believe what you just said, but I do not mind. Because I can believe in you, Shiki. And the two of us enter the building. My legs, which were shaking so hard earlier, slip into an easy gait, as if my trembling from before never happened. Probably because I am happy. Do not fool myself and say it bluntly. I am overjoyed. I am less embarrassed than I thought I would be. Moreover, I feel splendid. Now, time to switch off my emotions. I have to try as hard as I can to hide my feelings from Shiki and act like the way I was before. The elevator rises. There wasn't any electricity. After a little fiddling...
The elevator rises. There wasn't any electricity, but after a little fiddling by Sion, our trip to the rooftop began. Hey, Sion, yesterday we defeated the Tatari that became Nero, yet he's still here. Does that mean we have to defeat the true Tatari?
No. When it comes to Tatari, there is no such thing as true Tatari or fake Tatari. Yes, not even you can completely kill Tatari. It is a special among all the 27 ancestors of the dead apostles.
Huh?
Tatari can exist forever through others, the same as Roa, the infinite reincarnation.
Wait a minute, Sion. What did you just say just now?
About Roa? You were connected to him, weren't you?
Yeah, I was. Wait, that's not it. What you said before? What'd you say exactly about Tatari?
Tatari is one of the 27 ancestors of the dead apostles. Come to think of it, I never did tell you.
No, you didn't. Those 27 ancestors of the dead apostles are the strongest, aren't they? I never knew he was one of those.
That was an omission on my part. I will explain everything, so please do not be angry. Simply put, Tatari is an unprecedented vampire. The dead apostles are only humans who become vampires. They are second-generation vampires who are their own breed of vampires apart from the true ancestors. The highest among these are called the 27 ancestors. Among these 27, there are those whose true form is unknown. Even other dead apostles do not know of them, and not even the church pursues them. Because they are ancestors, the others of the 27 do not face them either. Their existence is strange, even among vampires. Enigmas which stray from the norms of the 27. That is Tatari, number 13, the vampire called the Knight of Wallachia.
Knight of Wallachia? I've heard something about that from Senpai. The church knows where the lairs of the 27 ancestors are, with the exception of one of them.
Yes, Tatari. No, the Knight of Wallachia does not have a lair. First place, it is something that does not even exist in this world.
Something that doesn't even exist in this world? You mean he's dead?
No. There are those among the ancestors that exist even though their bodies have been destroyed. Simply, you cannot destroy the 27 ancestors by destroying just their bodies. But that is not what I meant. The Knight of Wallachia truly does not exist. A dead apostle that cannot exist unless certain conditions are met. But as long as they are met, it is a dead apostle that can live forever. That is the form of the immortality possessed by the Knight of Wallachia.
Immortality. Not even dead apostles last forever, yet they still yearn for eternity, right?
Those are the words of the infinite reincarnated Roa. Yet, the Knight of Wallachia resembles him terribly. It does not independently exist eternally, only by others. Dead apostles are immortal, but not eternal. An immortality which requires them to drink the blood of others means they will not age, but does not mean they will not die. Most ancestors work to perfect that incomplete immortality, but they all fall short. Among them, there are those who seek eternity not from themselves, but from others. One was Michael Roa Balamyong, a dead apostle who reincarnated into those with ability. Another is the Knight of Wallachia, Zepia Eltnam Oberon. He took another approach from Roa, but still obtains eternity through others.
Sepia and Eltnon Oberon. Wait, his name is the same as...
Quiet. The details of his name have nothing to do with this explanation. It would take too long to explain that. He had his eye on using others to obtain eternity. No, you must say a circumstantial eternity. His life does not reach eternity, but his phenomenon does.
Are we referring to the Fairy King here? Like...
No matter how strong a life form is, it can only know defeat against a life form which exceeds it. If its life is destroyed, if it dies, it will disappear. But if its origin is a phenomenon that occurs after a certain set of circumstances, then it cannot truly die, because as soon as those conditions are met, it will occur once again. Zepia chose his occurrence conditions to be based on human conceptions. Yes, to carry this analogy to the extremes, he is like a typhoon. A typhoon stems from low pressure and is a continual menace, occurring over and over as long as conditions are met. But even if you could destroy the phenomenon of a typhoon, it will still reoccur within this world. That is what Tatari is like. A societal phenomenon, a rumor relying on information, which will continue as long as the human world continues. What is born from that is Tatari, the vampire called the Knight of Wallachia.
Sorry, Sion, could you explain it in terms a little easier to understand?
There truly is no such orientation, but please think of it as a kind of energy that gives things orientation. The dead apostle Zepia failed in his attempts to gain the arcane secret called the Sixth. But as expected from the dead apostle, he did not fail completely. He was unable to rewrite the system, but he was able to remain inside. After failing to gain the Sixth, Zepia's body was dispersed, but it was dispersed according to his wishes. The diffusion of his strong spiritual elements caused him to remain in this world. Normally, the separation of these spiritual elements, the soul separation from the body, causes it to fall into nothing. Whether it happens quickly or slowly, it is all the same, a natural process one cannot resist. Released from the prison of the flesh, the spiritual elements, with no intent of their own or salvation to orient them, perhaps fall into nothingness until they are once again transformed. But before that happened to Zepia, he mastered the Tatari equation. As long as the certain conditions are met, his dispersed spiritual elements converge upon rumors and are born anew in this world. In the span it takes for a human to disappear, the alchemist Zepia calculated the place where Tatari would occur. All that was left was to chant was to chart his journey over a few thousand-year cycle and send his body along such a route. Of course, the route is an endless one-way trip. Zephia placed himself into that cyclical route so that even after the intent called Zephia ceased to exist, his scattered parts would continue along that program. The dead apostle named Zephia no longer exists, so the 13th slot has no name. The dead apostle called Tatari isn't actually a dead apostle, but is nothing more than a phenomenon.
Nothing more than a phenomenon, but phenomenon that just enters reality from unpleasant rumors is just...
Yes, the dispersed dead apostle does not have anything left of its former self. No, in the first place, there is no way for such a thing to come back. Where the dead apostle called the Knight of Wallachia went is simple. It has to do with mastering the system of authenticating rumors and realizing them in his own body. When a community of people imagines one thing at the same time, there emerges a consensus of the village, a legend. When such a legend becomes universally established, the Knight of Wallachia becomes that legend, and disappears in the same manner. And it appears that the first appearance was in Romania, occurring in Wallachia.
This is a long elevator ride.
I know, right?
Occurring in Wallachia.
Yes, the Wallachia region of Romania was once home to the feudal lord Vlad Tepes.
I believe it's pronounced Tepesh.
Oh, Tepesh.
Yeah.
It is said that while he was lenient to his people, Vlad was incredibly brutal towards his enemies and the invading Turks. Doing the unthinkable to other people, not only killing the enemy, but going even further by using their flowing blood in his strategy. Despite going so far to protect his own people, rumors began to say he was a vampire. Of course, those are just rumors, yet in a civilization blanketed in darkness, vampires did exist. And the people feared that Vlad Tepes was a vampire. It had nothing to do with reality. And after Vlad Tepes died, the town still circulated the rumor. If the Lord is a vampire, then during the full moon, he will return to drink our blood, won't he? Vlad, rumored to be a vampire even while he was alive, was still feared for being a vampire after he died. The rumor of a vampire in such an isolated place was very useful to Zephia.
Now I'm remembering Vlad's interludes in FGO, where he raised shifts with Gouda and tries to change his history, convince people he's not a vampire.
Oof. He chose Wallachia, the place of death of Vlad Tepes, as his best sample case to begin form. On the night of the full moon, he transformed into the rumored Vlad the Vampire and began massacring the people. After the knights of the church arrived, there was not a single body with any liquid left. From street to street, human skins were spread all over the ground. Vlad the Vampire, rumored to drink until there was nothing left, drank not only their blood, but all the water within their bodies. Every one of the knights must have thought it was a true nightmare. That massacre was so terrible, the church could only call it one thing. The ultimate nightmare, the gathering of all terror, just the Knight of Wallachia.
The Knight of Wallachia. And what happened to him after that?
He disappeared. With the death of all those who feared his curse could no longer spread. After the Knight of Wallachia kills all those who made him, he vanishes. Well, he was only able to appear for one night, so it is possible for people to survive.
I don't get it. The Knight of Wallachia materializes curses, right? So if you left people alone first spawned him, wouldn't he be able to last forever?
No, the Tari receives the form of a curse. Unless he acts according to that conceptualization, he will not be able to exist. After crystallizing into the object of the people's dreaded wishes, he kills them all and then vanishes according to those wishes. Appearing as a curse, Tatari must be, above all else, a curse.
I guess I can understand that a little. Then it was humans who made the Night of Lakia into a curse, so Tatari could be made into something bad or something good. Kind of like that story about the monkey's paw, where it granted you wishes in all too simple of a manner. So if humans thought of something good, then it wouldn't turn into a vampire, right?
The rooftop, Shiki.
And right here is where,
Yes, at midnight, the Night of Wallachia will begin. You cannot die, Shiki, so please discard any useless thoughts right now.
Sion pushes the control panel. The not quite finished elevator groans as the door opens. The rooftop is still being constructed.
It seems no one is around. There probably has not been anyone around these past few days.
Sion, what are you doing? Spinning around like that? Is that ballet?
No. I am using my ear light to draw information from the surroundings. Joking around at a time like this, you really are. It has begun. That is Tatari.
This isn't good. I can't really see them.
Of course. Right now, you cannot see any lines of death there. Even you cannot kill words. Inside there is still nothing but words. You cannot kill that which is yet to exist. At this stage, the only thing which can kill it is something like Arcade Brunstad.
Arcade? You mean only something that is so recklessly strong can break it?
You really are quite direct. I have been wondering for quite a while, but how come you are only so direct when it comes to a true ancestor?
No, that's not it. She won't understand unless you really spell it out for her.
I see. That is how Akia feels. It may be wishful thinking, but I may get along with her.
What are you saying over there, Sion?
Can you not tell? I am just thinking aloud to myself. Let us move on, Shiki. It seems Atari is taking shape. I knew it. You chose to take the strongest form by drawing upon the thoughts of the person who knew of vampires in this town. But of course, the Night of Walachia's goal has nothing to do with being a curse. Zepia's goal was to become a true ancestor. Zepia never knew things would turn out like this. But in this town, the method to become a true ancestor, the answer he was seeking, has emerged. As a backup plan, Zepia investigated places where the princess of the true ancestors would appear, which is why I am now here. There's been a lot of ups and downs, but Zepia's goal is within my grasp. Tonight, the name of Night of Wallachia will end.
Without even thinking, I hold my breath. This is Tatari, the Night of Wallachia, not only took her appearance, but took Arcwade's personality and mannerisms.
Oh? You're here too, Shiki? Wow, I thought you would have come by yourself. So I'm pretty surprised Shiki's with you, Sion. You've gotten a little softer over these past 3 years. Yeah. Reese Baifei was the one to protect you back then. Bastard! Don't speak so lightly about her.
Sion's whole body is shaking. Arcwade, no, the Night of Wallachia seems to enjoy seeing her like that. Wait, Sion, can I try and talk for a little bit?
Shiki? It's dangerous. This may look like the true ancestor, but it's totally different on the inside. Trying to hold a conversation, that's just being...
I know, but there's something I wanted to ask. Knight of Wallachia, right? If you're the vampire who truly takes the form of others, then answer me. Hugh, have you even once not had the will to drink someone's blood?
See now, Shiki, even though it's me, you're really concerned about that.
I'm just asking you a question. You can take it as... You can take the form of people's wishes, right? Then maybe once you can actually become something good.
Uh-huh. You're so good. To ask me something so nice like that. It's wonderful. Wonderful.
Don't poke fun. If you're in that form, then I know you'll answer me. Well then, has that ever happened?
Yeah, it happened. Not once, but many times. When people wish for a bumper crop, or for arguing villagers to become friends, or for the god of a sacred tree, or to have a plague lifted. Of course, I grant each and every one of those. After all, I am the vampire who appeared according to everyone's wishes, right? Then I have to at least grant their wishes, don't I?
And if you become something evil, is because of people. You don't have any will of your own, so you can only do what people wish upon themselves, right?
By the way, when do you think they're gonna fight?
I'm not sure. You gotta go soon, right? Can I...
Yeah.
Oh, whoops. I stopped the game. Oh, okay, good.
Oh, that's convenient.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, yeah, so, well, unfortunately we gotta end it there today, guys. We gotta, Okay, so yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. We'll be back tomorrow. We're gonna be starting 1 hour earlier. We should be able to finish that story, and then I guess we'll breeze through the alternate route, since a lot of the cutscenes will be the same from the looks of it. So, yeah, we'll, see you then.